Welcome to the weekend and welcome to the 12th Horseshoe podcast and Surge Sports. It's been a while. We haven't had an episode since the Super Bowl concluded, but we are glad to be back. Tons to talk about when the latest NFL news. Plus, we'll get into some more stuff that related to March and around the sports world, of course. And joining me now, my co-host Jack Rizzo. Jack, how are you doing today?
What's up? How you doing, Eli? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, that's what we were gonna say. We're gonna talk about the latest football news. But we might also bring a couple of other sports in this. It's really the only time of year we can bring other sports into our podcast because this is a pretty quiet time of the year. Although tonight I believe started yesterday, it carries into tomorrow. The NFL Combine in Indianapolis is going on. Right. A couple of storylines from there, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But doing good today, Eli. I can't believe it's already been almost a month since we last had football being played.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been quiet, and I think one of my favorite things that once football concluded that we went to the NHL and the Stadium Series, which
that was so much fun.
A lot of fun. We were both there. He was at the Ranger game, which had a fantastic ending.
And we haven't done a show since the Stadium Series. Our last show was before the Stadium Series.
Right. It was before the Stadium Series.
It was the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. The Stadium Series. We'll recap that in a little bit. We'll get
both
to
of our teams won, so that was nice.
That's what matters. That's all that matters. So yeah, just to remind everybody, our show will be on every other week, every other Thursday or Friday, unless something major happens. Then we'll obviously be on immediately. And we also have a special NFL Draft Party Watch Day as soon as that Thursday in April. We'll be live on YouTube.
25th.
The 25th, thank you. We'll be live on YouTube for like a 4-hour special. We'll be live covering it all. Obviously, we cannot show you what NFL Network and ESPN are showing, but we will give you our takes and announce the draft winners here. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll have guests and stuff. We're working out all the details, and we'll be ready for you in no time to come. So that is exciting news, and let's get into it. I'm gonna go down the list of a couple of my notes I have, and then when I'm done, Jack will fill in the blanks to see what else I missed and release from there. We'll go talk about each of them. And I think the biggest news to start off with is the 2024 salary cap, as it is went up. Will be this year $255.4 million. It went up by $30.6 million compared to last year. It was $224.8 million. And originally, 10 years ago, at around the 2014 mark, it was $133 million. So the growth in salary cap in the NFL is pretty huge. And obviously, the first person under this new salary cap deal was T. Higgins from the Bengals, was the first person to qualify under the franchise tag. That happened first up on the list. Jack, looking at the price of the salary cap, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's certainly interesting decision. Definitely a big rise in the salary cap. So we'll see, if some of these position players you don't feel like they're getting paid enough, maybe the markets will expand a little bit, or it's a little hard to decide. But we'll see what happens though. But yeah, should certainly be interesting. I think I feel like the salary cap rises almost every year, but this is a pretty significant rise, and this is
significant.
This is a great free agent class, so it's a cool time for them to rise the salary cap.
The quarterback class is huge this year, and all around is pretty huge. A lot of good names out there, and national champion winners, of course, will be potentially joining the NFL come this year. Kansas City hires former Bills punter Matt Araiza, who was let go due to some allegation stuff, but he is now heading to Kansas City. Jimmy Garoppolo, this is a big one, suspended now for 2 games after violating the NFL's performance-enhancing substance policy, and that is because of medication he took, I believe, during the game. So he'll miss 2 games come this year. So it's not a good-looking sign for the Raiders to start 2024 off.
Jimmy G needs to sue the people who gave him those because they obviously didn't help him on the field. He was so bad this year.
Absolutely. That is why he's suspended.
He's probably not going to be with the Raiders, though. They're probably going to release him.
I would not be surprised, though, too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, from the Seattle side of things, Geno Smith collects his $12 million bonus and will be a top starter next year for the Seahawks. My honest opinion on it, yeah, I don't know. It's a big money bonus that he got. I get to, for me, my opinion with Geno Smith, you got to give him that one chance because you're under a new head coach. But if it does not work out with the new head coach, then it's time to have a quarterback ready to go. And I think what's going to hurt Seattle is this year's draft class has so many good quarterbacks. By next year, it'll be a smaller class. So you're just gonna have to rely on trades, and it's gonna be like a really difficult decision from the Seattle on what they do with going forward after Geno Smith this year. And we'll see if Mike McDonald will have a big impact overall in the Seahawks locker room. We'll see how that changes out. 49ers had a lot of coaching changes, Jack. They got a new defensive coordinator. Assistant relief from their duties was Steve Wilkes, which he did okay this year. Well, I don't know about that one. Assistant head coach, running back coach Anthony Lynn became the Commanders' running game coordinator, passing game coordinator Clint Kubiak became the Saints offensive coordinator. Offensive lineman James Craig became the Raiders' offensive line coach, and Daryl Tapp became Commanders' defensive lineman, so head coach.
Yep,
So
and also the the Commanders OC Eric Bieniemy left to join UCLA's coaching staff as an assistant head coach and offensive
yep,
coordinator for the Bruins.
absolutely. And that was all pretty much coaching changes, and a lot of them came for the 49ers. Some of them came with the shock, as certain roles did do pretty well in the Super Bowl and the regular season. I just think it was time for a change, but we'll see how that impacts next season for the San Francisco 49ers and what kind of competition they'll bring to the table, especially now Seattle has this new head coach, what they'll have in mind and in store. Other quick headlines happening around the NFL before we head to what Jack has in store for us. Commanders announced Charles Leno Jr. and tight end Logan Thomas have been released by the Commanders. The Eagles also released safety Kevin Byard, which I thought had a pretty good year, I thought, with the Eagles, but I guess
Probably
wasn't
salary cap
probably
reasons.
salary crap, right? And then this is a report from Tom Pelissero, one of the lead insiders. They're reporting that their NFL has tested optional tracking in two stadiums and the Super Bowl last season for the line of gain ruling, which is basically those orange yellow sticks, which is the chain. The league officials say the technology is not expected to roll out this year. They said, but it does require a vote. But hey, that's pretty good. Then, how would the NFL? How would you feel about that? Not seeing those orange chains and relying on technology to decide the ruling of a football yard or two. I don't know. How would you feel about that, Jack?
Yeah, it's really strange, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think it would work out good. All right, last couple of notes here. Zach Wilson has been given permission to seek a trade. Wow,
I don't know who's gonna trade for him.
that's the issue. Who wants him? Number one, and is this gonna be a bad decision for the Jets? How long will Aaron Rodgers play? Like,
I don't. Well, I
I
mean,
thought he would have the better opportunity with the Jets. Building up after Aaron Rodgers, but I guess not.
well, the offensive line was horrible.
That was number one
And
last year.
and the Jets have already they failed Sam Darnold. They failed so many quarterbacks. Maybe it's just an organizational issue. I don't really
It
know.
sounds to be like it. Uh, Cameron Jordan is the latest in along with Derek Carr, Cesar Ruiz, and Nathan Shepard and Eric McCoy all got new contract signing with the new salary cap. FedEx is ending their name rights deal with the Commanders after ending it 2 years early. So what does that mean? New stadium
Wow.
changes, no FedEx on their logos, and is it gonna be called Redskin Stadium?
No, it should be called Poverty Franchise Field.
Oh, that's a good name. Good name.
Yeah, right.
Good
It
name.
fits them.
All right. Chiefs have released Marcus Valdez Scantling after 2 seasons and winning 2 Super Bowls. We'll see how that impacts next season. Chargers let go of Austin Eckler. Let Austin Eckler explore free agency. That's a big one. Austin Eckler did pretty good for the Chargers this year, and especially with a new head coach, it's a bold take from the Chargers.
Yeah, they
And
want to start
finally,
fresh.
yeah,
Eckler's 28. That's pretty old for a running back. So
that's smart. I guess you could say. Final topic. New Orleans says that they're going to be New Orleans Stadium, Caesar Superdome, will be under a $500 million renovation that will be complete before Super Bowl LAX next February. So
yep,
just
in New
expect,
Orleans.
yep, which is in New Orleans. So expect that throughout the Saints season, you may see construction happening. That is the bottom headlines from my end. Jack, do you have any headlines or anything you want to talk about before we head to NHL talk? Maybe.
Yeah, quite a few. Well, first of all, I think the NFL, I think New Orleans is a great place to host the Super Bowl. It's such a great
Absolutely.
it's a party scene. The NFL, they've been there so many times. They usually go there every few years. Although it's actually when they go there next year, it will actually have been 12 years since they would have been there, which feels pretty crazy.
Wow.
It's a party city. Of course, Mardi Gras happens around the same time as the Super
So
Bowl.
it's an epic party in New Orleans that you really want to be part of.
Yeah. So I do have a couple of things to talk about, Eli. And one thing you did mention that I think we need to mention, the franchise tag. A couple of players we saw get franchise tagged
Right.
the last couple of weeks. T. Higgins, of course, the biggest name
Yep.
there. Of course, the star wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals was given the franchise tag this offseason after his 4-year rookie contract
He was the
expired.
first to do so.
Yep. And by the way, the way the franchise tag works is that the players will have until, I believe, till July 21st, if I'm not mistaken, to work out a long-term deal with the team that tagged them. But you often see players who get traded while they're on the tag, so we could see that as well. But yeah, T. Higgins is a really good receiver though, and any team pretty much any team in the NFL could use T. Higgins. He really is just a phenomenal player. I'm just trying to find the date to see
Yep, no problem.
when the deadline is to get a player. Let me see.
Did you get it? March, maybe April.
No, it's not. It's not till July.
July 26th. My bid. We'll put in 26 in my bid. Am I right? I could be wrong. I'm just putting a bid in. My guess. Well, Jack does his homework and research.
Wait, it's all right. It's not giving. Oh, it's July 15th, Monday, July 15th.
There you go.
There we go. Good job. Yeah, nothing was giving me. It was telling me dates of March, which is the date to apply the franchise tag. So if the Bengals T. Higgins do not reach a deal by July 15th, then he will just play on a 1-year contract and then become a free agent again next year. We also had L'Jarius Sneed is expected now.
Right.
T. Higgins is the only one confirmed. However, we have 3 other players who are expected to be tagged. One of them is L'Jarius Sneed of the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll have till July 15th to work out a deal. However, Kansas City has given Sneed permission to seek a trade. So this gives L'Jarius Sneed the opportunity to try to work out a long-term deal with Kansas City while speaking to other teams. We've seen this before. Tyreek Hill got traded while he was franchise tagged, I believe. Or maybe they just gave him permission. But the Chiefs, it's working out for the Chiefs. They've let a lot of star players go, and they've turned out to be just fine. So
absolutely,
Jerry is really good. He's one of the best young corners in the NFL. So
we'll see if it has an impact next season.
A couple teams they could be interested. I think the Colts could be a team interested. I think the Eagles could be interested. I think there's quite a few other teams who could be interested. And then Brian Burns of the Carolina Panthers also expected to be tagged, according to The Athletic. Might also be able to seek a trade. Jalen Johnson might get tagged as well. Antoine Winfield of the Bucks. The Colts said that they're going to try to get a long-term deal done with Michael Pittman, the star receiver. And if they don't, then they're going to tag him. So basically, he's not leaving. And yeah, that's the deal with the franchise tag. Also forgot to mention that Patriots special teams legend Matthew Slater officially announced his retirement last month. One of the greatest special teams players of all time, up there with Steve Tasker and Devin Hester and Adam Vinatieri, with the greatest special teams players of all time. Should definitely get in the Hall of Fame one day. Matthew Slater, one of the greatest special teams players of all time, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots.
All right. Pretty good news. Thanks, Jack. So that's pretty much NFL news for right now and coverage what we can talk about with the latest going on. So let's get into other stuff happening. Obviously, coming up soon is March Madness, which is obviously the greatest basketball event that happens every year. We'll probably have some shows about that, maybe. We'll see about that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some specials or something.
Yeah, but I can't wait to March Madness. It's always a fun time, exciting time. So it'll be really cool to see how March Madness plays out. It will be really cool. But let's talk about the NHL real quick. We were at the Stadium Series. Let's talk about our experience at the Stadium Series, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the NHL and conclude for the day.
Yeah, why not?
I was at the Devils Flyers game on the Saturday, the 17th of February. It was a lot of fun. Fan Fest was fun. We waited an hour for the Stanley Cup picture. 100% worth it, in my opinion. It was cold, but it was worth it. 100%. The Devils scored 6 goals. They had the Gaslight Band there, anthem there, to perform the Devils' goal horn song live every time they scored. So that was awesome. Devils scored 28 seconds into the game, so that was super exciting. Jonas Brothers performed twice. They were really good. Really good band, good group, and that was a good night at the Stadium Series. It was fireworks. It was electric. It was fun. Both Gritty and NJ Devil 0-0. They both pie the Rangers guy in the face. That was hilarious because we could all agree that Devils Flyers, no matter which team you're on, you all hate the Rangers. And that was a funny moment for the day. Jack, how was your experience at the Stadium Series?
It was great. It was a beautiful day, Sunday the 18th. So the next day, the game was supposed to start at 3. However, it was delayed about a half hour to 40 minutes because of the sun glare on the field, which I don't know why the NHL didn't, like, did they not know that if it was sunny, it was going to be on the ice? Like, I don't know what they were
I think they wanted to get a night and day comparison to see what it was like playing night and day. Because then you get...
Yep.
And one thing they said real quick before you go back, the Devils, they said that it was lucky enough that the Devils and Rangers did not play the same day because that would have took away from the moment, they said.
Yeah, that's true. Rangers played the Islanders. It was the Battle of New York and the Battle of the Jersey Turnpike in these 2 games.
Absolutely.
Devils played the game. The Rangers did too. Both teams scored 6 goals, funny enough. But
yeah,
the Rangers were down 4-1 against the Islanders early into the second period. But then Igor Shesterkin started to play better. Rangers goaltender, who's the 3rd star of the month for February in the NHL, undefeated, .953 save percentage, 7-0. Rangers were down 5-3 with less than 5 minutes to go, scored 2 power play shorthanded goals, so 6-on-4 advantages, and they won it 10 seconds into overtime with Artemi
Panarin, controversial goal.
Redman. Yeah, controversial goal. However, it was a good goal because the Islanders were the one who knocked the net off of the ice. And
there was no contact made
across the line where the goal net would have been. So the integrity of the net was not disrupted, and the Rangers won. But it was a great time, though, with great people. There was definitely more Ranger fans there. I'd say about 80% Ranger fans and 20% Islander fans there. I also took a picture with the Stanley Cup. However, I did not wait an hour for it. I just went up to the front and just took a picture with it, like behind a gate or whatever. And yeah, so that was worth that. Got some good food. Great time. Great comeback for the Rangers. Great atmosphere.
It was a huge game.
It was so much fun to sing the Rangers goal song 6 times. So that was really fun.
Yeah, and the Rangers got to be proud of Rempe. He was like 2 weeks into the NHL, and he's been fighting every time at prime time. Pretty crazy. He had the Flyers guy last Saturday. It was pretty fun to watch, and he the big one against the Islanders there. So he's a good fighter out there, and that's something extra to watch for if you like the Rangers. I don't, but I thought it was pretty cool to see more fights happening in longer times, rather.
Yeah, it's what the NHL needs. We got to bring some of this fighting back. So yeah, love Remps. He's a great player. Scored a game-winning goal against the Flyers on last Saturday. He's been a big player for us. He's been a big player for our 4th line. He's done a lot of good things for us. I mean, he's huge. He's 6'8.5".
Yeah.
He's close to being what Zdeno Chara was. He's the tallest player to ever play. It's 6'9", Big Z they called him. But yeah, every Rangers fan loves Remps. He's such a good player, and he's a big player for our culture and for our locker room for sure.
Absolutely. And the NHL's heating up. We're almost at the Stanley Cup playoff run. Devils play tonight in Anaheim at 10 o'clock. I won't watch that game, too late, but on the East
Rangers play tomorrow in Toronto at 7 o'clock.
So yeah, so hockey's good. Weekend's full of fun, and
yep,
that's pretty much it for today, I think.
Yep. So thank you everyone so much for watching.
And don't forget to watch
today. We had to do an episode. Yep, Sports with Mono tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
Yes, right here. Me
on Search Sport.
And Jim tomorrow. Yep, have fun.
So thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you
in 2 weeks.
Conclude
always. Go Devils, go Seahawks. Goodbye.
And go Rangers. Goodbye.